Okay, let's look at the single author cases, shelves. Let's go author by author. For Aristotelian unity. All right, here's all the F. Scott Fitzgerald and F. Scott Fitzgerald related books I own. Well, most of them. Gave some away during the purge. I had one that was like F. Scott Fitzgerald's St. Paul, Minneapolis. I kind of wish I'd kept that, honestly. Murder, Mayhem, and the Invention of the Great Gatsby. This intrigues me, as does that notion of careless people and the idea of Scott and Zelda. 1922. Let's have a tight scope, this book. That's kind of awesome. I kind of love when nonfiction does that. Gives us the beat by beat. Excellent book. Brings a lively curiosity. I like that it's so Gatsby-centric. That's awesome. I will read that. I think I bought that new. No, but I may have paid money for it. New essays on the Great Gatsby. This looks like a cool series, the American novel. Cambridge University Press. Bastion of literacy in America. I mean, Cambridge in general. Haha. Whole book about Gatsby. Literary reference. That's awesome. I think I got this at Downtown Books. They always had cool stuff that I'd never heard of before. Nice. And then Gatsby itself. That strange cover. And honestly, a strange title, but it works. Better than Trimalchio and West Egg, which was an original title for it. What? Born in 1896 in St. Paul, Minnesota, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Educated at Princeton. Wow. In the midst of the expatriates of the 20s, living in Paris. I kind of feel the tragedy of his life. But he wrote a lot of beautiful stuff. Set a high bar for American prose, in my opinion. At his best, he really showed you what he could do, you know. These 4 books are for sure some future reading project. I'm going to read all the Gatsby-related books I have. Squirrel. And Prisma. Squirrel loves books. That's why she's over here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be... This is going to be a future reading project. And I will be a Gatsby expert. Here are collections of his short stories. Babylon Revisited and other stories. Wild cover. Feels very other timely. And not just the time that he was writing about, but when this book was made. Charles Scribner's. This is when Maxwell Perkins was his editor. That's so cool. A contemporary classic. This edition is 1960. Yeah, it feels it. That's wild. Huh. I was thinking Greenwich Village when I saw this. Basil and Josephine stories. Now that's a beautiful book. I love how this book looks. A sucker for green squares and rectangles outlined, apparently. Beautiful fonts and silhouettes. Everyone should check out Jim Rugg's comic book that he did entirely with found silhouette panels of comic books. It's so interesting. I special ordered it. Where is that? Somewhere. I wouldn't have gotten rid of that. I think I've seen some other... This reminds me of something else I've seen. To Cheryl from Mankio. For Cheryl from Mankio. Christmas 1980. I don't know much about this collection or these characters. Here's another beautiful book. Wow. Stripes. Wow. It's got that like classic album cover feel. Love it, love it. Old ephemera. Did I see this some other point? Maybe before removing it from Hearst building. My younger sibling used to live in the old neighborhood where Patty Hearst holed up when she was with the Symbionese Liberation Army. And she's like, that's the house back then. Now is she 7/22/71. Wow. It's a selection of 28 stories. I bet these are all good. Even though he wrote for magazines for money, his short stories are great. I used to have an audiobook of them that I'd play on every road trip. Some of those stories have lived on in my head. Benjamin Button, Diamond as Big as the Ritz, Bernice Bobs Her Hair, a few others. There's some really good ones that he wrote. Some of our business is making you happy. The rest of our business is keeping you that way. Grodin's. It's an old carbon copy, like an old school credit card transaction, maybe. Another little Fitzgerald project for someday. Read all the short stories. Squirrel! Psst, hey, squirrel. 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 Hey, squirrel. Squirrel. Squirrel, squirrel. Psst, psst, psst. Hi. Here's some novels. Here's This Side of Paradise. Beautiful and the Damned. The Last Tycoon. This one was pulled from the paperback project. Maybe I should... No. Maybe this should go back in the paperback collection to represent. Maybe Zelda's should too. I've always wanted to read this. Yeah, they're going back. When I read these two, I'll read this from the nonfiction section to make it a trilogy. It's a cool old biography of him. 1951. Cool. It's beautiful. I love this mat. Oh, nice. Oh, come on. That's beautiful. Nice. Yeah, sometimes I catch myself admiring logos, and I'm like, don't admire logos. But, I mean, I don't know. I can recognize artistry in anything. Yeah, okay, that's going to fill the fiction case up fast, then, if I'm going to add back in. Well, should I? Yes, just do it. They're a themed pair, but they're not the same author. They can still go on one of the individual one title per author shelves. Maybe I'll allow myself one book per single author to go back into that case, because I love those authors. People are probably like, maybe you're way overthinking this paperback case. No, I'm perfectly thinking. Well, those are the Fitzgerald and Fitzgerald-related books I own. I know I used to have more. I used to have a lot of doubles in different editions and so on. But it's a nice little collection. If you read all this, you'd be a bit of a scholar, especially in Gatsby. You would know what you were talking about when you talked about Fitzgerald, I would say, overall, a bit. Yeah. And I do have other relevant works. Like I have a collection of Maxwell Perkins letters that I know contain some Fitzgerald. I bet he's mentioned in that Hemingway biography. What's up, Prismo? How's it going? This is Prismo, Baby Squirrel's mom. Hi. How you doing, cutie? Oh, you're so pretty. Prismo's so smart. She can talk a little bit. She says no sometimes if you ask her questions. Many times I've told her specific things, and she's responded like she understood me 100%. For instance, once I said, Prismo, there's a bunch of stuff on your back. And she had turned and looked and immediately started cleaning these crumbs off her back that were on there. She's checking out the new place. Hi. I'm glad I left the tops of the shelves bare just for you, kitty. And squirrel. The noble beast. Welcome back, Scott and Zelda, to the paperback project. Yeah, I'm kind of like feeling like I want all the sections to kind of blend in a tiny bit with the paperback case, contribute something, be connected to it. I've done a little recent reorganization. Brought in a Kurt Vonnegut book that had been in the sci-fi section, The Little Prince that had been in the kids section, because it goes with another Anton Saint-Exupéry book, and is considered a classic for all ages. Yeah, I don't think I'll put those Camus in the paperback project because there's just too many of them. I don't have room for authors with multiple paperbacks. I won't be putting the Dillard because that's classified as nonfiction. Oh, it looks like one Willa Cather, yes. One Tim O'Brien. Awesome. And we're at Edward Abbey because it's all nonfiction. See, the authors with multiple titles shelves are full. Though I am going to add the Town by Conrad Richter to complete a trilogy that's there, if I can. Too much Dostoevsky. There are doubles. Too much Joyce to add to that section. Too much AG. Way too much Woodhouse. way too much Shakespeare to add. That's why they were removed. I will get a couple from here. That's good. Anyway, this has been F. Scott Fitzgerald. What do you think of that guy? He and I share a birthday, as I mentioned before. So, kindred writing pals. And I've always kind of appreciated and on one level understood his battle with himself and his battle to create. One level, it's the human condition, and writers got to live those things big, with big gestures. I don't know, like, he did so well as an author, but he was always chasing some higher level of income for his wife, who was rich. And he loved a drink. All right, well, I like F. Scott Fitzgerald. I stand up for him. Periodically, there's like a new round of bashing him on social media or saying The Great Gatsby ain't nothing. And a lot of times it's from like high school kids that only ever read a couple books and they resented every step of it. So their memories aren't fond. Sometimes it's from people who should know better, because Gatsby's great. And so is F. Scott Fitzgerald. There's a lot to learn from his work. His prose says a lot, but he has a lot of big ideas behind it too. And he expresses a time and a place in a meaningful way. We'll definitely be reading these 4 books sometime. Oh yeah, that'll be like a 2 or 3 month project. Reading all these. In fact, I'm adding those Gatsby essays to the pile. What's up, beautiful? How's it going? Oh my goodness. So pretty. She's a tabby. She has stripes you can see in certain light. Beautiful. So I am the night. Oh, this channel just got so much better, huh? I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to keep it here. That pile's getting too crazy over there. All right, next, Dozen of Camus. Just thinking out loud here, but yeah, be a defender of talent. That's what I try to be. Like, I feel like I'm allowing a wrong to happen in the world if I'm ever on the edge of like a party conversation where people are bashing a band or an author. That one sucks, and here's why. I heard somebody doing that with Dostoevsky once. Not allowed back there. Anyway, no, I'm kidding, but there was definitely a very big conversation. Yeah, I don't know. Is F. Scott Fitzgerald still getting read? Are people reading them? I don't actually know how that is right now. I know Gatsby gets taught in high schools. That's cool. A book with an interesting history. Popularized when soldiers had a paperback of it during World War II. Yeah. All right. Well, hope you all have enjoyable reading in your life going on right now. Enjoyable art lives. Take care, everybody.